Okay, no, I'm going to explain a few things as soon as we can get going here. This cutscene right here you're going to see, this is how I want all the major cutscenes to be for right now, at least with the current amount of manga pages I have. We'll set it up just like the cutscenes are set up here. And that'll be for like certain cutscenes that every time I say manga insert cutscene or illustration insert cutscene, that's where it'll come into play. I figured it'd be easier to replace certain scenes with this instead of going for the frustration trying to explain which sprite should where, which sprite is the right character. It's easier for both parties involved.
君ならできる。わかるんだ。私も君と同じだったから。
ああ。行くぞ。
Okay, this is actually the illustration image for Ryuga's room. The game is supposed to start off like that, and anytime you go into Ryuga's room, there's supposed to be menus within that range, and then you can go into like the moving around area like you're doing right now. I will be having this map upgraded. I'm just waiting on the map developer. He's having some issues, but he's almost finished with it. Oh, and we need to add some kind of direction so people know how to go, like maybe a little glowing dot or like glowing dust, arrows, anything to let the player know what direction is the right direction. And right here is where I'm talking about doing manga cutscenes. Not quite the way I just did it right here, but doing it more like how the beginning was for my Japanese translator did for manga dub. That, why the hell did it go? Especially not that, because that fucking movie maker twist that. I thought I fixed it, but oh, whatever. Anyway, I basically manga cutscenes wherever these scenes come up. These are what we'll do for the demo. I'll expand upon that as much as I can because the manga artist takes a while. So not every scene is going to have manga cutscenes. Only like the very beginning, maybe as far up as chapter 7. But we'll be relying on more illustration cutscenes after a certain point. Basically, by chapter 7, it'll be mostly illustration cutscenes. The reason why I went from manga to illustration cutscene right here is because this illustration image shows a better example of what is going on with Ryuga, and I would like if we can get a close-up view of Ryuga's face while he's doing the walk, because seeing his eyes, his dragon eyes, is a real big part of the game, real big part of the story. It's to show that Ryuga is more than meets the eye. There's something special about him that he doesn't know. As for this nightmare sequence here, we could change this up, give this a little, maybe where he's had to fight his inner demons, and when he wakes up, he's all healed. Okay, now here's something we could add in for a factory job. Is when he goes to there's a building right behind there where it's you can make it where any way you want for map. But we'll have like a random NPC that gives him a job where he's got to deal with getting rid of pest control, rats, cockroaches, and stuff like that, and just make it where he's fighting them off, getting them killed. He's pretty much just removing them or certain things just to give a little more gameplay, I expect. From here on out, it's basically just using the manga cutscenes wherever I put in a certain amount of cutscene, switching over to illustration cutscenes after a certain point. Some of the gameplay cutscenes you guys already have with the sprites will also remain. Especially when we get up here, I'm gonna go quiet again real quick because I'm gonna skip through to the another part of the video where I want to make it a little better. That will try to attack Ryuga. Ryuga will either have to run away or defend himself. Just for adding in a little bit more gameplay element. Alright, the train station here is going to just be replaced with a manga cutscene. I am doing that simply because it's just the whole concept of having the cutscenes come in with this whole part of the story just feels better. It feels more fluent and there's more connection because you can actually see the emotion of the characters and what they're going through. So that's where I want to keep all that. Alright, I'm going to try to get down to the point where we're getting to the dragon fight, because there's something I want to talk about there. Okay, this will go between manga cutscenes here and probably be the last point of doing any form of manga cutscene. Well, going through this whole event with Ryuga being attacked by the main bully and then defending himself because he just doesn't care at this point. When the dragon does appear, I want to keep a lot of yours the way you guys did the cutscenes for that as well, because you guys did a better job at showing that the dragon was invisible and attacking everyone. So this right here will keep, because I was going to replace this with a manga cutscene too, but I was like, no, this is actually better because it shows that the dragon actually was unseeable. People couldn't see it. Except for Kira. She was the only one who could see it. Another reason saw this is where he nearly loses Akira because he got blindsided, and he's having backlash memories of his mother, and he goes into a rage. When that happens, he doesn't have any sense of himself, and so we go back into playing Rage Ryuga. Dragon, we go into another manga cutscene where Drake, which we do have voice acting for Drake, decides to kick Ryuga out of his inner world because being in this state could kill Ryuga and Drake. From here on out, there are going to be no more manga cutscenes, probably at all. We're going to probably just switch over and relying on illustration cutscenes instead, while we're also still relying on these types of cutscenes as well. One, because it's cheaper and easier, and the manga artists are just not gonna be able to keep up with you guys. They take way too long. So yes, once we get past all this, we're gonna go straight into we get Parisia, and basically wherever it says insert illustration cutscene, we use the illustrations that are shown that I'm showing in here. Now, you guys do have the illustration images, so I handed it over. Further down the road, we'll add the but they're like way up from chapter 20 and up, and I'll be adding more. Like this illustration image shows that, okay, she's picking up Ryuga. Well, Amela uses her magic to more or less make it right. One more thing I need to mention is I want to replace Ryuga's ability to use magic right now, because this is too early in the game for him to be able to use magic. Instead, we'll use combat techniques and like different like hit techniques instead of magic, and we can turn around and let's see, make it where Ryuga can regenerate slowly his health. And I mean slow. It's not a fast regeneration. Reason for that is because Ryuga has the natural ability to regenerate his wounds, to kind of like Wolverine. Parisia is stronger than Ryuga, so maybe having Parisia about a few levels higher, because she is literally 10 levels higher than Ryuga is in the main story, and technically that is actually a pretty big leap, because in this world, well, characters like Imelda can beat the shit out of Goku from Dragon Ball Super, so or even Beerus the Destroyer. And just pointed out, this world is a whole higher level. So these guys are gonna be a little bit stronger than Ryuga at first, and Ryuga's got to work his way up because he's going through the hero's journey. I want him to start off weak and having to grow strong. In this world standards, he is extremely strong because he crushes the bully's hands completely. But in the Isekai world, he is considered weaker than a baby, as Imelda puts it. A lot of these scenes here, the cutscenes, how they're going with the character sprites, I want to keep that. Just make sure you guys use the right emotions, facial expressions for the specific scenes. And yeah, I think this will be alright. Think of anything else to add. So I hope this video helps.